Hi everyone, today I'm back to do a book review. I'm back to do my March and April, what I've been reading, the books I've been reading, and then a bit of a haul at the end. So these are the books. I've got some on my Kindle this time and some physical books for March and April. So I'm going to share the Kindle. So I've read 4 books. I think there's 4. I'm on my 5th one on my Kindle. These are going to be mafia romances. The first one I read was Braffia Lullaby. I will, because it's obviously hard to tell, I will try and put an image of the book on the screen so you can see what it's about. So this is obviously mafia. It's a romance. So it's following a character called Brooke. She gets on a plane after she's left at the altar. Fiance just doesn't turn up on the wedding day, leaves her hanging at the altar. She jumps on a plane to New York because I guess it's somewhere she's always wanted to go. There she meets she doesn't know he's the mafia boss at that point in time. Leave and they hit it off. They end up what she classes as a one-night stand. Obviously he tracks her down. So it's kind of he obviously knows the fiance that owes him money, and he ends up bribing her that I won't harm your ex if you put on a front and agree to marry me, kind of thing. But then obviously they end up falling for each other. I really, it's what I'd call like an easy read. Sometimes I read that in between other books if they're a bit heavy. So it's kind of what I call, like, I guess like a palette cleanser. It's just so easy. I kind of fly through them in a couple of days. So I read that one, and then obviously there's a second one called Midnight Poison in the collection, and again that's carrying on from the first book. I think she ends up pregnant, and she ends up leaving because she's worried, obviously bringing a baby into the mafia and stuff. She wants to think, what's best for her baby, kind of thing. But he ends up tracking her down, and then obviously there's more threats from other mafia bosses and stuff. And so it's, like I said, really easy. If you know these mafia romances, they pretty much follow the same sort of, they're very similar to, like, the same plot through most of them, really. So they're kind of predictable. Sometimes you know what's going to happen before it happens. But like I said, it's something that if you're reading something else that's quite heavy, it's quite an easy read. And like I said, they're just like fun little books to read. Then the next collection, which I'm currently on this series at the moment, the first one's called His Tesoro. It means his treasure. Obviously it's in Italian. Tesoro, I think that's how they pronounce it in Italian. But it means his treasure. This follows, again, mafia. I think his name's Matteo. It's been a while, like I said, since I've read these. Her name's Sophia. She's in a wheelchair. She's been badly treated by her father. Mainly her father and her father's like soldier men, because he's like head of a mafia. I think he's the head of a Russian mafia. Matteo is the head of Italian mafia. and they've got an arranged marriage through her father. Like I said, she's been badly treated by her father, and it's about their, like I said, arranged marriage. They don't like each other at the start, and then obviously they do at the end. And then obviously it's best to read these ones in order because elements are in the other books. So the second book's he's Juliet, that's Romeo. He's Matteo's like first-hand man, and one day he has to take cover in a bookshop, and in this bookshop it's run by this lady called Juliet, and it's their kind of story of them meeting each other and finding each other. It does touch on elements in these two books. So obviously the second one touches on like self-harm and stuff, so obviously if there are trigger warnings in some of these, so obviously check these all out before you read them. Yeah, so I would check all that out before you start reading these, just to see if that's your sort of thing or not. So yeah, so that's the second one, and then the third one, he's Empress. I am currently what am I on? About 44% through that one, so I'm currently reading that one. So that is on my Kindle. That's what that's the one I'm reading at the moment. So that's on the Kindle. Then physical books, I think I shared this the last video that I did. I was currently like a couple of chapters in. This was following the Bailey Hannah series, the Cowboy series. If you want to look at the other books in this series and what I thought of those, I will leave the link to that video where I shared the other, I think it's the other 2 or 3. This is A Change of Heart. This is following, she comes home because her mum's sick. So the guy's called Denver and she is called Blair. Yes, so she lives in a different city. She comes back home and mum falls ill. I feel she's got Alzheimer's or something like that. So she starts to lose her memory and stuff. She comes back to help her younger sister and her dad take care of her mum. And she falls back in love with an old flame. There's quite a bit of history there. Yeah, so if you read the other books, you would have heard of Blair because she is mentioned a little in the other books. Yeah, again, really, I have really enjoyed this series. I've finished this series now. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like this one as much as I liked some of the other ones. I think the second one, Red, I think it's called, really enjoyed that one. I loved the story in that one. It just had a bit more depth to it. This one, again, easy read. It was okay, but it's not my favourite. This one out of the whole series, I think, was my favourite. It's the last one in this series. It's about a single mum raising a young teen. Well, he's about 10, 11, so he's not really quite a teen, but acts like a teen. So he's got the attitude there and, you know, not listening, not coming home when he's supposed to, all that good stuff that you get with teenagers. She's a single mum. She's trying to juggle Blair's younger sister, so she's trying to juggle family life as well as being a single mum. Yeah, really, out of all the books in this series, this last one was my favourite. Really enjoyed it. And they're not that long of a book. It took me a few days, I think, to read. What is the pages in here? 410. Yeah, so not that bad. So yeah, like I said, really enjoyed the series. These next ones, there's 2 in this one, but these are 2 books, but there's 2 in here. These Colin Hoover, this is following the Perfect series. I read, I think it was 2 hours or 3 hours, I can't remember now. One was the end one, I think it was completely... so yeah, the young one was following Quinn and Graham. It was their story about miscarriage and going through like IVF treatment and things like that. It touched on that. Like I said, there are certain trigger warnings, so if you want to check out before you read. Yeah, it was okay. I wasn't blown away by this one, to be honest. But it was alright. I wanted to finish the series to see what it's like, but yeah, like I said, again, easy reads. I did fly through. Like I said, it's 2 books in one. Okay, sorry about that. The door went, so I had to pause. I think I was talking about this one. Yeah, this is the last 2 books in this series. It touched on, I don't know if I mentioned now what I was saying. It touched on teenage pregnancy, adoption, miscarriage. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of like what they call trigger warnings in now, if that's not your sort of thing. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't as, I didn't enjoy it as much as the other ones, but it was still a good read. So that's that one. This was a new one to me, and also a new author, Laura Nowlin. I picked this up from Waterstones. I think I shared these in a previous haul. This was I enjoyed this one. Again, it's... How many pages has it got in there? Like 389-ish. A very easy read. Teenage. I'd say this is young adult. Yeah, aimed at young adult. Definitely aimed at young adult kind of book. Yeah, it was alright. I enjoyed it. I have in a haul, I've got the second one. I wanted to see what the second one was about. It's about Autumn and Finn, their childhood friends. Their mums are friends as well. They've been friends for years. They live next door to each other. I guess they kind of, as they grow up, they go their separate ways. They have different friend groups, and then it's about them coming back together. Yeah, so I did enjoy that one. This one, this is another Colleen Hoover. I am really enjoying. I find that her books are very easy to read. Very, I like her writing style. They're not like heavy thinkers, if that makes sense. They're just like really, yeah, there's, so far what I've read, there's not much, it does touch on certain things, but they're not too heavy. This one is called Fallon, and this one, the 2 main characters is Fallon and Ben. So he's wants to be a writer. And it's about them meeting one day in a restaurant. I don't know, I don't want to give too much away, so I'm trying to see what is kind of written in this bit to what I can kind of say, because I don't want to give any spoilers away, you see. She's quite an introvert, and he brings out more of herself. As time goes on, he encourages her to try new things and be more herself and not shy away from things. And she, in a way, does that for him as well. So yeah, without, like I said, giving too much, there's a few plots and twists in now. Yeah, without giving too much away. That's that one. And then I am currently, as well as the Mafia one, the third one, Mafia one, on my Kindle, I am currently reading this one. I did share this in a previous haul. This is about a calf in Japan that can not grant you wishes, but you can visit people that are no longer there, so from the past, but they have to have been to the calf itself in the past, if that makes sense. If they hadn't visited the calf in the past, then you can't visit them. So it follows, at the moment I'm on the first character, but I think it's like 3 or 4 different characters it will follow. So yeah, so it's the lovers, it's the first 2 characters to visit the calf, and it's their story. Then you've got the husband and wife, the sisters, and then you've got mother and child. So at the moment I'm still on the lovers. Like I said, I've only just really started it. It's kind of given a bit of a backstory about the calf and the rules behind. Obviously there's rules about visiting, and you have to drink your coffee before it gets cold, and they have to have visited. You can only visit someone from the past that's like passed away or things like that if they've actually visited the calf when they were alive. Yeah, so it's a bit of like time travel kind of thing. But like I said, I'm still early in the book, so I haven't really got much to offer on that one, but I'm enjoying it. So that's those books, and then I've got a bit of a haul to share with you guys. I won't go into too much on each one because I don't want this video to be too long. Right, I did pick up, so I'm going to share the ones that I got from hold on, let me just pick them. I'm trying to remember where I got them from. So some I got from the Works. So I think the ones that I've got these stickers are from the Works. So I got this one, Christine Hanna, The Great Alone. This I think is about Alaska. Yeah. So it's about a man. I think he moves his whole family. I think he loses his job, and he moves his whole family for a better life. I think that's kind of the backstory about it. Obviously you can pause and read. Like I said, I won't go into too much detail about it. I haven't, like I said, read this, so I've heard great things about it though, so I'm excited to try that. Obviously they were £5 in the Works. I do love their books in there. These ones, that one, and that one, these are all Mafia. Like I said, I'm a bit of on a Mafia kick at the moment. These are, now which order do they go in? I think it's like that. Yeah, they've got sprayed edges on these as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, these are all Mafia. So you've got Sinners, Anonymous. Oh my god, I can't even say that word. You can read it. I'm not going to try and butcher it. Gets tongue-tied trying to say it. But again, Mafia romance. I thought in between reading things, because I heard people say this could be quite, you know, teary. These are just, like I said, palette cleansers, really easy to read. So bit of Mafia romance, and I presume these are all pretty much the same. Sinners Consumed, Alone, yeah. So I've got those again. The Works, £5 each. This one I've heard again a lot of people talk about. Don't Fall in Love with Me. Page page 2. Again, not read anything from page 2, so they're best friends who spend their childhood summer together in France, breathtaking region, until life moves on and Jackson's married someone else. Years later, Jackson returns Grace's life with a irresistible offer, her dream job where their story began, and he's newly single. So yeah, I thought that'd be quite easy read. Again, sprayed edges. The Works does have some really cool spray edged books lately, so I'm excited to, I guess, a romance kind of one. Excited to try that. That wasn't, I'm trying to see if there's any more that was from The Works. I think that was it from The Works. Yeah, so I got this one and this one, and this one. So that's those ones. I'll just move these back there. So these ones I got from Waterstones. Yeah, I picked these up from Waterstones. So this one is The Last Letter. Sorry guys, I had to think where I've got them from. I go to quite a few different places to get the books. This is a romance. He is in the army. So from what I understand, it's this guy's in the army. He writes a letter to his best friend that's also in the army, and it's about, like, obviously if you received this letter, you've made it and I haven't, kind of thing. And he wants him to look or just be there for his younger sister. I think she's a single parent, I want to say. So yeah, and it's kind of his letter to him to obviously take care of his younger sister, or be there for his younger sister. So I think it's their sort of journey as he comes back, like I said, from the army, and it's his letter, and also, you know, to take care of his younger sister. So I've, like I said, I've heard quite a few people talk about this, so I thought I'd try that out. So that was from Waterstones, as well as this one, Lights Out. I think there's three, I want to say 3 books in this series. Again, there's a lot of trigger warnings. A lot of books do have that now, which is kind of cool, because they didn't used to have that. So obviously there's trigger warnings in there. You don't, I'm trying to think, on your Kindle they I think they do as well. They say trigger warnings before you read it. I was just trying to see what they are. I think Game On is another one that's in this. I think there's 3. I want to say 3. I could be wrong in this series. This one is by Navessa Allen. Yeah, so that's, like I said, again, I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I do go on Goodreads, so if you're on there you will see, or TikTok, have a lot of people posting on books, so I do check those out for recommendations. So that's that one. My daughter actually got this one from TK Maxx, but I thought I'd pop on and share it. I may actually read this as well. I haven't read, she's read the, I want to say she's read the Iliad, because I'm sure she did that in her master's degree. But she's like put loads of quotes and marks in it, and she's gone through it. Yeah, it's when you're doing like masters and what have you, the books just get destroyed with the amount of notes down the margin and things and what have you. It's quite nice to have a copy that has not got all that in it. So yeah, so she picked this up from TK Maxx. I'm trying to see. This was $7.99. I thought that was really good for a book. So yeah. So it's got the Iliad and Odyssey in there. So it was $25.99, so that's quite good. $7.99. It's quite nice book to have on your bookshelf. So that's that one. And then I think I picked up these two from TK Maxx as well. And this one was only actually I think they're better. No, this was $3.99 and that was $4.99. This is another one by Colleen Hoover. I don't think I even read the back of this one. Some of them I like to go in blind. Again, never heard of this. Heart Bones, never heard of it before. I've not even read anything about this, and I didn't really read the back, to be honest, in the shop. Sometimes I like to just go in, like I said, blind, yeah, and see if I like it. So that's that one. If you want to read what it's about, you can pause that and read it. And then the second one, this is the second book to If He Had Been With Me, again by Laura Nowlin, and is If I Had Told Her. So like I said, this is the second book, and this was only $4.99. They're actually a lot cheaper in there than they are in the Works, and I thought the Works was the cheapest place for books. So yeah, so that's quite good. I do also check the charity shops as well, because sometimes you can get some good books in there. And then the last book I have to share with you, my husband on the 25th of April or 23rd of April, I can't even remember the day it is now. It's Book and Roses Day. So he surprised me in the morning. I got some nice roses and this book. So he chose it. So again, I don't know anything about it. It's by Kate Story. Again, not read anything from this author either. It's called The Last Page Calf. Again, I think it's a romance. I'm hoping it's the first book in the series. I think there might be a series, and I'm hoping it's the first one. But yeah, so I'm excited to try this book out as well. So that was quite sweet of him to do that for me. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I think I'll do this every couple of months. I'll come on and share like books I've read, books that I've hauled. Yeah, I'm excited to try these out and start reading these. If you've got any other books, or you've read a book recently and you think, oh, that's a really good book, just put them in the description. I'd love to hear people's ideas on different authors and yeah, books that they're reading and stuff, and recommendations. I'm not actually, I mean, I know there's a lot of romance here, but it doesn't matter what genre or anything. I'm up for pretty most. I know obviously I've got a lot of books that are romance, but I do watch a lot of horror, things like that, thrillers and stuff. So more, you know, happy to read things like that as well. Sometimes I just like something a bit more light-hearted when I'm like in between other books. So that's why I pick up a lot of romances that I can kind of just quickly read in between those more heavy books. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Have an awesome week, guys. Bye.